This episode is not merely a bitter gotcha aimed at criticism that I viewed unjust and have held in my heart for several years. Now, it is that, in part, but there's something deeper and more important running within the veins of the argument. It's all about how mimetic conversation can destroy reasonable discussion and criticism. It's all about how misinformation can spread when you strip context and nuance from somebody's words. It's all this and more. There's a lot in there. There's stuff about, being angry at people for liking things that you don't like. There's a whole mess of themes running throughout today's show. And it is also a bitter take that criticism that I thought was unfair. I'm not saying that I'm particularly embittered at all, but this has been a long time coming. So let's get on with it, because I can't wait. People reacting like rabid animals over negative video game reviews is a well-known and often parodied entity. But in my years of game criticism, there is no reaction so vicious as the offence some people take when you like a game they don't like. I've pissed off many people by criticising the next big AAA game they're overzealously hyped for, but by far the most venomous, hateful, and sometimes cruel reactions I've ever gotten from the online gaming community at large has been when I've praised something they all decided to hate. And at the top of that pile, the game I've gotten the most flack for reviewing to this day is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. 9.5. Respect. Every year I plan to do this episode right around the launch of the next COD to keep it relevant, but I've never gotten around to it until now. So here it is, a long time coming, laid bare after years of people still bringing it up to discredit me, still focusing on one or two lines from thousands of words of reviews and clutching their pearls. Here I am defending the allegedly indefensible Modern Warfare 3 and my love of it. People were furious with me for enjoying Modern Warfare 3 because they, misunderstood my role first of all. I'm not a hitman, you see, and I don't take down games people preemptively decide to despise. Comments on Destructoid at the time actually expressed this attitude, outright saying they expected me to tear it apart, and you could feel the sense of betrayal in their tone. Most of those comments got wiped after Destructoid updated its systems, but a few remain, and they give you a good idea of what folks said at the time. They actually felt betrayed. I'm not a hired gun saying what you want me to say. Just because our views may align on a lot of things, they won't necessarily guarantee agreement at all times. And I just don't agree Modern Warfare 3 is a bad game. Part of understanding my respect for Modern Warfare 3 is understanding what I look for in a Call of Duty game. I'm one of those weirdos who actually enjoys the campaigns of multiplayer-focused shooters, sometimes more than the online component. To that end, MW3 was the conclusion of a trilogy I'd actually come to enjoy quite a bit from a narrative standpoint. It was also the first Modern Warfare game to present its narrative coherently and sensibly. Prior games were engaging enough, but their stories were kind of all over the place and it was hard to get a sense of who the characters were and why we should be invested in them. Modern Warfare 3 fleshed all that out and tightened the bond between the explosive set pieces, which were fucking brilliant by the way, and a story that no longer felt like an afterthought. A lot of people look at Call of Duty as just being the same game over and over again, and while I agree the series has gotten fucking tired at this point with lackluster entries like Ghosts stinking up the joint, I think a lot of the criticism discounts those who actually play for the solo mode, and don't just see it as another game of multiplayer shooty bang bangs. All that said, at the time, I felt and still feel that Modern Warfare 3 was the current top of its class for online multiplayer. Yes, it was derivative of itself, but the foundation it was built on was solid enough for the iteration to be enough for me. They took that foundation and streamlined it to make what I felt was the most engaging multiplayer mode since the first Modern Warfare. The change from killstreak bonuses to the strike system rewarded players for more than just killing, making objectives and point scoring more valuable, something I know I appreciated. Similarly, the perk system was changed to be something more subtle and passive, less about the kills, which added a great deal to the game's balance. Did the game innovate itself in some drastic way? No. Did it need to? I don't think it did, no. In recent years, maybe yes as a series, but at the time, no. There were no competitors doing it better as far as I was concerned, and there was no need to innovate for innovation's sake when there was a great nucleus of a game that benefited more from evolution rather than revolution. They did put effort into the game, and they did so with experience and talent despite what others claim. In a world where Assassin's Creed games are dribbled out annually with very little effort to change things up, it still bemuses me that MDubs 3 still gets all the hate for a comparatively mild transgression. Of course, there's one other element to the Modern Warfare 3 debacle, the element that saw me despised on Reddit and NeoGAF for ages, even though other reviewers liked the game just as much. See, this review came out around the same time I reviewed another game that was part of a long, and in my opinion, tired series, Mario Kart 7. I criticised this game for not innovating enough and being a humdrum pedestrian entry in a series that really needed shaking up. The rabid horde of gamer zealots, being the literalists they are, conflated my two different opinions on two completely different games into completely different genres and saw nothing but hypocrisy. A popular meme was created that took the thousands upon thousands of words I'd written about Modern Warfare and Mario Kart and boiled them down to 2 sentences, demonstrating just how effectively you can control a message when you strip away all nuance and context and slap it on a picture. To this day, the situation remains a fine example of how idiotic some gamers, not all gamers etc., can be when it comes to their shallow understanding of written criticism and total lack of reading comprehension, as well as their disregard for context. I mean, I'm not the smartest man in the world, I'll be the first to admit it, but I do possess some degree of foresight, and if you think I didn't expect people to compare my 2 reviews, you're a fucking idiot. That's why, when you read the 2 reviews I wrote for Mario Kart 7 and Modern Warfare 3, you'll see I deliberately wrote them to complement each other, not contradict. I explained why Mario Kart 7 disappointed me as a game in its genre, where better examples of kart racers existed and I expected more than light iteration on a formula established in 1992, versus why Modern Warfare 3 impressed me as a game in its genre, where I felt no better examples currently existed and I was pleased by light iteration on a formula established in 2007. Now, you may disagree with my assessment, and I know many of you will. If you hate Modern Warfare 3, if you love Mario Kart 7, that's fine. That's great. You do you. I respect your opinion even if you don't wish to respect mine. But when you take 2 lengthy reviews and strip them down into a handful of sentences that look contradictory without the rest of the words backing them up, you're being a disingenuous, dishonest fuckmouth. Which is to say nothing of the hypocrisy you yourself engage in if we apply the same ridiculous standards to you. I mean, if Redditors were so mad because I liked Modern Warfare 3 and not Mario Kart 7 despite them apparently being the same, why the hell weren't they mad at themselves for defending Mario Kart 7 and dumping on Modern Warfare 3 for them being the same? See how easy it is to use a meme to make your point no matter how bullshit that point is? To this day, there are those who want me to feel ashamed for enjoying Modern Warfare 3, and I say, fuck that. Nobody should feel ashamed for the games they enjoy, least of all a critic whose job should be to give you their opinion, not just regurgitate yours back at you. Getting mad at people for hating a game you like, I can at least empathise enough with you on that, but I've seen it too many times these past few years, people angry at others for liking a game they dislike, and just, wow. What a bitter, hateful person you gotta be that you can't stand others enjoying something. Fuck, when I hate a game others like, the most negative feeling I get is envy, because I wish I could enjoy it too. I feel like my life would be even better than it already is if I could actually see what people like about Mass Effect, but I can't. And that's fine, because people enjoying a game I don't enjoy isn't hurting me, and if it hurts you, maybe there's something wrong with you. Or maybe you won't understand a thing I've said unless I slap it on a meme. It's kind of ironic, really, because currently people hate me for not liking Call of Duty anymore. I haven't enjoyed a Call of Duty game since, I think, Black Ops 2, and people aren't happy with me about that. In fact, one of the greatest ironies was this Reddit comment that I'm going to flash up on the screen now, that was in response to the last Jimquisition episode I put out. So that just proves to you that some things never change, some attitudes never change. But if there's one regret I have with the whole Modern Warfare 3 debacle, it's that Activision won't release it again, so I can't give it a 9.5 all over again, thank God for me. We We don't have any fuck Konami news, we haven't had any for quite some time, but I don't know whether we're going to have to start doing a fuck overkill news. Recently, they just made their microtransactions worse, with XP and cash boosts and stuff coming in microtransaction form. I have to wonder, like, what the fuck's going on? Have they just realised that they've sunk their PR now, and so they're just going to go in whole hog and make as much money as they can before they're completely destroyed? I have no idea, but that's new. After the bad PR, they decided to make the microtransactions a bit more optional, and then just decided to make them even worse. So it really is becoming more and more of a pay-to-win situation in a game that you pay for, making it a fee-to-pay-to-win situation. So, wow! You know, but anyway, I thought I'd throw that in as a little update, because I know people want me to. Not the Payday 2 community anymore, though. They got really angry at me for continuing to covering the thing that they pestered me to cover, at least some of them. So that's weird. You never know what mass communities want from you, because as a singular entity, they're stupid. Oh, that was harsher than I intended. I don't mean the individuals within it. I mean just when you get a mass of people together, it's just a lump of silly. Let's start again.